Hi, and welcome to week 3 of Mastering Time and Honoring Boundaries, a program for daily peace. I am super psyched about this week as we embark on this journey together and continue to move forward. I want to present to you this week boundaries, how to honor your boundaries. In this welcome video, I just want to talk about what boundaries are and why it's so important to honor them and really put this into practice. So first, there are multiple definitions of a boundary, and I want to just throw them out there to you today so that you have some clarity about maybe how your boundaries have existed to this point and give you an idea of where you might want to work on improving them and establishing some firm boundaries for yourself. So first, a boundary very simply is it's an emotional and physical space between you and another person. So right here in this video, we have a boundary. And even though I'm not there with you in person, there is still a boundary between the two of us. And it's an emotional and physical space. Another definition is a limit or line over which you will not allow anyone to cross because of the negative impact of its being crossed in the past. So this is when people do things to you that you do not want to allow going forward, that maybe have hurt you in the past. That is the boundary that you have established with that person. It's an established set of limits over your physical and emotional well-being, which you expect others to respect in their relationship with you. So this is a good example of this is just of the parent-child relationship. You expect your children to maintain specific boundaries with you as a parent. And this relationship exists in other places, but that's the simplest example to give you today. The emotional and physical space you need in order to be the real you without the pressure from others to be something that you are not. This is oftentimes what trips us up, is we feel the pressure from society to be and to do things that we don't necessarily want to do. And when we don't have healthy boundaries, we cave to that pressure. A healthy emotional and physical distance you can maintain between you and another so that you do not become overly enmeshed or dependent. So this relationship can be maybe one that you have with your spouse or significant other or a partner. This can also be a co-working type of situation or any other relationship where you might become dependent on someone else. If there's not a healthy boundary established there, then you're likely to become dependent. This next one is the opposite. So this is an appropriate amount of emotional and physical closeness you need to maintain so that you and another do not become too detached and or overly independent. So same idea, maybe in a relationship, a marriage, a significant other, this same idea. So sometimes we need to maintain a closer boundary in order to maintain that relationship. The balanced emotional and physical limits set on interacting with another so that you can achieve an independent relationship of independent beings who do not lose their personal identity, uniqueness, and autonomy in the process. So sometimes this is something you might see maybe when you're networking. So you have a group of people that are coming together who need to maintain their identity, but we often sometimes lose that boundary and we start to act like them. So there's a balance of emotional and physical limits that you set on when you interact with other people. And lastly here, clearly define limits within which you are free to be yourself with no restrictions placed on you by others as to how to think, act, or feel. This is also something that's really important with boundaries. Oftentimes, even myself as a client of a coach, I have taken on their thoughts and their ideas. And so I want to encourage you in this video to really look at the boundaries you want to establish for yourself. Maybe what's not worked so well in the past and how you want it to be in the future so that you can start to establish what those boundaries might look like. Oftentimes this is a difficult process because we don't necessarily have great examples of what healthy boundaries look like. If your family isn't a family that offers healthy boundaries or you don't have a good example of that in your family, it might be hard for you to see. And so I want to encourage you, if that is the case, as you go through this week's videos and worksheets, reach out for help. Message on Voxer, bring the questions to the call, but make sure you get the help that you need. There are some things you need to know about setting boundaries. Boundaries allow others to grow. So you're making others conscious of their behavior, allowing them the opportunity to change, just like you're doing. They allow you to get more of what you want and less of what you don't. So when you have a healthy boundary and you're able to say yes to things that you want to say yes to and no to things that you don't, you're able to get more of the yeses and less of the nos. Good, decent, and generous people set boundaries. They set them emotionally, they set them physically, spiritually, financially, and it's okay for you to do the same. The key is practice. Practice setting the boundaries. So this is not an overnight process. We're just going to get started on this during this week and in this program. So practice is key. When you make a mistake, look at it as a learning process, not as a mistake, and move forward. Ask yourself, what did I learn here? And identify, what boundary did you cross? What boundary did you manipulate that you didn't want to? And learn from it so that next time you can say what you want to say, do what you want to do, and be who you want to be. Let's get started. I look forward to seeing you this week.